All right, it is 4 o'clock. It is Friday. That means that I'm here. I'm going to turn that off so I don't have to listen to myself. I'm waiting to show up on YouTube. Yes, excellent. I'm still listening to myself. There we go. Much better. Hello. Good afternoon. Hopefully you guys are all doing great. Excited to get back to this named entity recognition graphing problem thing. So this time I thought ahead and I actually ran through it before we got started, except it didn't go all the way through. Okay, well, I thought I ran through the whole thing and I guess I didn't. That works. So we're just gonna let this go because it's gonna take a minute. Oh, that's right. This is where we started out last time. So if you were with me last time, the thing that we ended up doing was not actually graphing. We ended up figuring out that what I thought was the structure of the dictionary was not, in fact, the structure of the dictionary. So when we went through and we got all of these claims and we found where they co-occur using this function, this custom function, what I thought was happening was that every time there was a co-occurrence, we were iterating the weights. So I thought we would have weights that ranged from, 1 for things that only co-occur once to, I don't know, we've got about 7,000 co-occurrence pairs, so I'd say like 50 probably. There's probably things that co-occur 50 times. And when I was looking at the data structure that we generated, this co-occur edges, what we ended up doing was creating a dictionary where we'd appended each pair to the end. So I had a long dictionary of every co-occurrence pair, and they all had a weight of 1. And since I want to use the weight, so things that co-occur more often, to show that that co-occurrence is more common, I ran into trouble pretty much immediately. So what we're going to be doing this time is we're going to start out, shout out to Ryan Carson from last week who pointed me to this Stack Overflow answer that hopefully is going to solve all my problems. Let's find out. Am I zoomed in enough for you guys? Is the volume okay? I'm seeing some delay on the YouTube panel. I'm just sort of keeping an eye on, so I want to make sure that I'm not sort of skipping and unwatchable. Okay, I would like to do something like this. Here's append. So this person has a list of URLs and they want to get a count of the URLs from different regions, it looks like. This is a very strange way to organize things. If stored in a dictionary, this is easy. We are storing in a dictionary. So what I want to do is I want to iterate the count every time a pair co-occurs. Oh, I'm going to need to sort them? Do I need to sort them? Are these edges directional? Sorry, so what I'm thinking about right now is we have a dictionary of dictionaries that maybe we can actually take a look at. So let's just print some of it. So here you can see the, so we're printing the sort of first level thing. So the first dictionary has Georgia, and then Georgia shares weights with 3 other things, and they're each a weight of 1. And then first shares edges with 2 other things, and they both have a weight of 1, and US shares with 1 other thing. And you can see we have lots of different entities here. I'm printing out a lot of stuff. And what I'm wondering is if there is a link between Georgia, like if Georgia and Chevy occur in that order, will we consider it the same as Chevy plus Georgia? But also, as you can see, all of our weights are 1, and I want these to be the number of co-occurrences across the entire corpus that we're using. So this is not going to work yet, so I'm just going to comment that so I don't accidentally run it. The thing that we're doing here is iterating. And we're looking at a key value because it's a dictionary of dictionaries. So in the outer dictionary, the key is going to be the first entity, and then it's going to be associated with the value that is a dictionary of all of the other entities. Oof. This has definitely been like a really good crash course in me doing data structures in Python. I have a much better sort of intuitive understanding of data structures in R. And honestly, MATLAB. I've spent a lot of time futzing around with data structures in MATLAB, and just like everything's a matrix, and from there everything makes sense. But Python has a lot more diversity. Just like in R, pretty much everything's a vector. It's all a vector under the hood. Okay. Common for updating a dictionary of counts is a common pattern. So common, there's a special data structure to make this even easier. You also the default dictionary key. With counts as values. All right. So let's try this. So the part where I'm going haywire is in here. No, this will work. So this function will get us results. Ryan says, I think you have actually used default dict in this kernel already in the co-occurrence function you used. Yeah, that's what I'm looking at now. So we do have a default dict. Yeah, so the dictionary we are making for each the dictionary that we're making for each sentence is fine. So for each story, it's fine, and if things co-occur multiple times, we can handle that. And that's what this little test is showing us, because you can see that this dictionary of dictionaries has weights of like 2, 1, 4. So the problem comes when we are adding our dictionaries together. So I want to combine. Okay, so this is the problem. It's the update. The update is pasting it at the end instead of adding it together. So let's see, Python default dict. What would I call this? Adding values. Will that get me close enough? Adding values to default dict. Adding values from to default dict. All right. Merge and sum of two dictionaries. This sounds like exactly what I want. And hopefully I'm just using the wrong function here, and I can just change the function and it will work beautifully. Let's see. Number of elements in dictionaries unknown. When the merge considers two identical keys, the values of these keys should be summed instead of overwritten. Oh, are we overwriting instead of sticking it at the end? This is a dictionary, not a list. What kind of result do you expect, and what have you tried? You might want to edit your question. Plus K in set X. You can perform plus minus and intersection and union on collections.counter. So we can do the following. Note only positive count values will remain in the dictionary. That is what I'm interested in. Oh. That looks easy. Let's try that out. And actually, let's try this out with a little test before we go whole hog on the entire big ol' thing that we're doing. So this will work for a regular default dict, but we are using 11, 22, 300? Oh, 100, 200, I see. Because they're not exactly the same. But we are using a dictionary of dictionaries. So let's see if this will work. And I'm just going to change this a little bit. I'm just going to remove some of the things. All right, that did not work. Unsupported operand types for dict and dict. Didn't they use, that's a dictionary. That's a dictionary, right? Am I losing my mind? No, that's a dictionary. Okay, so, okay. Maybe it's saying that it should be a dictionary? Oop. Nope, that didn't work. Unsupported operand types for addition, dictionary, and dictionary. All right. Well, I thought this was going to be a nice, easy fix, but it looks like it's not, so that's unfortunate. And I'm getting ticked at, and I'm trying to figure out what is making that ticking sound. I don't know. Can you guys hear it? That will help me narrow down which device it's coming from. I think it's my work phone. Yeah, it's my work phone. Okay. So I want something like a counter, but for dictionaries. That's a dictionary. X and Y are dict or dict, so that's why it's failing. Yeah. What is when they have? You can use default dict for this. Oh, okay. dsum. That looks maybe helpful. Let's see if this will work. That does not work. Name dsum is not defined. Yeah, that would do it. That is, in fact, going to be... Oh, I see. This is a custom function they did. Let's see if this works. Give that the old college try. Type errors, dsum, d and dix. Unsupported operand types for iteration, int and dict. What? Okay. What is it? D type, I think? X? Let me see what the types of these are, because it could be that, yet again, I am being confused by types. D-type. Let's check out the D-type of X. What are you? Name D-type is not defined. Is it D underscore type, maybe? I thought this was a built-in. No. I just want to check if it's a dict. Check if it's object is a dictionary. Oh, I should have specified Python, huh? What's the best idiomatic way to check if the type of a Python variable? Oh, it's just type. Well, I definitely made that too difficult. I think D type might be from NumPy. Abby says, the problem is that you are having a nested dictionary. What if I just did this. Is that gonna work? Oh, obviously it won't, because D-type is not a thing. No. Oh. I should probably say 4. All right. Name D1 is not defined. Stream object has no attribute items. Okay, so this should be, I'm passing in 2 dictionaries. I'm creating a default dictionary of integers. I never did find out what the type of X is. It's a collections.defaultDict. Okay. And is that what I'm getting out of the co-occurrence? Or is that because I've done something else to it? All right, yeah, so it is, it is that. And this is what we're returning, so we do need to make that. Okay, so this should be the outer dictionaries. And then I'm thinking that this is the inner dictionaries. And then for key and value in d1.items. Try type function. Oh, I already did that. Sorry, that was familiar. Dictionary sum. Okay. So I'm still having a problem in here. String object has no attribute items. So this is a nested dictionary that I'm getting out. I think I'm not getting the items, maybe? Collections.default has no attribute items. Okay. Noted. I should have spent this week reading up on dictionaries. Okay. Merge default dict summing counts. Elegantly merge dictionaries. That is what I would like to do. Adding values for keys appear in both. An item. These aren't nested though, is the problem. Collection sum point counter. Sum counter dict x for x in input counter. Note that counter, also known as a multiset, is the most natural data structure for your data, a type of set to which elements can belong more than once, or equivalently, a map with semantics element, occurrence count. A map with semantics elements to occurrence count. You could have used it in the first place instead of a list of tuples or tuples. Also possible. Operator.add. Using reduce add sequence instead of some sequence initial value is generally more flexible and allows you to skip passing in redundant initial values. Note that you can also use operator .and underscore to find the intersection of multisets instead of the sum. The above variant is terribly slow because a new counter is created on every step. Let's fix that. I would like to avoid doing that because we have 7,000 things in this list. Oh, hey, Haps. Welcome, welcome. All right, that's what we want. Let's wrap it with a function compatible with reduce and see what happens. A.update. This is only marginally slower than OP's. But it is a nested default dictionary is our data set. And I don't think that will work. Merge and sum of two dictionaries. Default dict list. How to sum the values of each key in a Python dictionary. The idiomatic way to merge in Python. Woof. Default dict subclasses that calls a factory function to supply missing values. All nested items dict D. Let's read the documentation. I think that that might be our best choice at this point because I'm fine. I'm fine. Yes, I'm not getting frustrated. I'm getting a little bit frustrated. It's okay. It just means that I have some learning to do and it will be great. Returns a new dictionary-like object. Default dict is a subclass of the built-in dict class. Okay. It overrides one method and adds one writable instance variable. The remaining functionality is the same as for dict class and is not documented here. The first argument provides the initial value for the default factory attribute. It defaults to none. All remaining arguments are treated the same as if they were passed to the dict constructor, including keyword arguments. Okay. So it's just like a dict, except it has something different. They talk about nested dictionaries in here. The class can be used in nested scope and is useful in templating chain maps. I have no idea what a chain map is. Quickly linking a number of mappings so they can be treated as a single unit is often much faster than creating a new dictionary and running multiple update calls. Class can be used. Okay. If I knew how to use these, this seems like something that might work well in this context. Django's context class, multi-context class, and thought code tool packages. A greatly simplified chain map. Okay. So I should maybe not be using nested dictionaries? This is still not helping me. Let's keep digging. Combining two dicts of dicts. Let's see if that will work. How to use two dicts in a new dict. Idiomatic way. How to merge two dictionaries in a single directory. Merging two dictionaries. Two nested dictionaries. Python. It's gonna be a bunch of like Pinterest crafts. We're like, oh, I put this dictionary in another dictionary and now it's a hat. Dictionaries of dictionaries merge. Yes, yes, this is my question. All right. With A, B, and C, do you mean leaves of the tree? This is the unknown level of depth. Oh. Okay, so this is like, they want a very, very nested structure. Okay. For key and B, for key and, oh my god, that makes so much sense. You loop through the first one and then you loop through the second one, although the time complexity of this is going to be quadratic. Does that sound right to folks? No, because dictionaries are hashed, so key lookup is always constant. I do know stuff about Python data structures. Okay, so this is not as inefficient as it looks at first. But the thing that I want to do is update. I think I can do that. I think I can... for key and B, for key and A. Yeah. Yeah, I think I can use this template and... note this mutates A. The contents of B are added to A, which is also returned. If you want to keep A, you could call it like merge dict A, B. See if anyone else. The easiest way to do it is with generators. It prints this. One question of an arbitrarily complex piece of data. Yeah. Let's try that. So we have these X and Y data structures that we're going to keep, little test babies that we're going to keep working with. For key X in X, for key Y in Y. That's the one I was looking at. Yes. Oh, and that's right. So there's an if-else here that I'm not going to use. And I'm just going to play with it outside of a function, and then once it's working, I'm going to stick it into a function. That's sort of my MO usually. All right. So I don't actually need this. No, I don't need two different keys. It's got to be the same key. So for key in X, if key in Y, and from there we can use this dsum, because at that point we will have two dictionaries, because we're looping through. So we're looking through our dictionary of dictionaries for dictionary, and here we're looking through our dictionary of dictionaries for dictionary, and if they match, So because this is sort of like a network data structure, so this is going to be one edge. So if they have the same, sorry, one node. So if they have the same node, then I want to squish them together. And let's see. So dsum was the one that we did, but there was one we were looking at earlier. Let's see. I'm just gonna do a bunch of stuff in this cell and see what I get to. It was something in the counter. Yeah. And then we turn that into a dictionary. Let's see if that works. And then I still have the problem. Okay, let's see where we are with here. I don't want to get too far down this rabbit hole before figuring out what we're actually going to be. I'm just going to print this right now. What we're actually going to be getting out. All right, that didn't work. Unsupported operand types for dict and dict. Counter, I actually think I want x.key. And I think I want y.key. And I don't think I need that because I think that's just going to be the name of the key. Ugh. All right. And I do need that. Wow, the parentheses are awful. Okay, let's see if this works. It didn't. Collections.default dict object has no attribute key. Are you kidding me? Okay, no, there's something further down here where we were messing with it. Oh, okay. So it's got to be. Scroll up. So it is x key dot values and then y key dot values. All right, that didn't work. Built-in function or method object is not iterable. Well, maybe it doesn't want the values. Maybe it just wants the key. Unsupported operand types for plus dict and int. So these should both be. Let's start by just printing. I'm going to comment this out. Let's just see what this is giving us. Because I think I am misunderstanding something. Oh, I should probably print that, huh? And also I'm going to comment U, and it is Alt-Shift/, Alt-Shift/other/, Control-Shift/, Control-Shift/other/, Control-Alt/, Control/. It's one of them. There is a shortcut key in Jupyter to block comment, and I always forget it. Okay. Oh, and I still haven't printed that. If any of you know how to do this, please feel free to jump in. I am would love some help. Okay. Yes. Yes, this is what we want. Okay. So the reason that I know it, actually, let me do this. It'll be a little bit clearer. So what I'm getting here is I'm getting, so I look in my nested dictionary for X and I see, oh, there's A, and A co-occurs with B and B. And then I look for my nested dictionary in Y and I see, oh, there's A co-occurs with C and D. And that's what these weights are here. So I want this to be one dictionary is my desire. But this is still a nested dictionary, isn't it? Abby says you need to call xkey.values. So let's xkey.values. Xkey.values. So let's see if this works. Okay, no, the first part didn't. The second part says built-in function or method object is not iterable. Oh, it's control the slash that leans that way. Thank you, Ryan. Oh, and I haven't actually done these bits which are important. And God, this is awful. This is horrible to read. It looks bad on the eyes. That's slightly better. Unhashable typed dict. Okay. So maybe I don't want it to be a dictionary? Is that what's giving me grief? It's definitely gonna have a white space error. Oh, it's not. Okay. Unhashable typed dict. So at this point, I can do the thing where we just add things together. So let me go in here and re-undo all the things we previously did. Oh, as soon as I can scroll correctly. Oh. I was trying to scroll a lot and accidentally I was holding down control, so instead I was zooming in and out a lot and just gonna think about it for a little bit. Reactive design, ladies and gentlemen. Is it still thinking about zooming in and out? No, excellent. What was I? I was in one of these cells undoing all of the things I'd just done. I was in this one. Actually, let's go back to the point where it was when we got it. So this is going to throw us an error, but I think dsum should still work. Let's see if this happens. So at this point we can just do dsum xy. So we want the dictionaries. So we want dsum x key, and I know I have insert y key. I actually hit it not by accident. I meant to at some point in the past and I just forgot to turn it off. All right, and then we're going to print this just to see what we have and hopefully get a new and exciting error message. And it was dsum, which I've immediately written over. Unsupported operand type for iteration, int, and dict. Okay. Let's... Listen, maybe I'm making it too hard. Maybe that's gonna work. No, that did not work. Okay. Well, at least we've confirmed that they're both dictionaries. All right. And at some point, we did look at a Stack Overflow answer that said that we should be able to do this, and it looks like we're not there now, so let's see, this is actually... Yeah. Okay. This example should work. So if euros, not euros, t. So this is, so they create a new default dictionary. Let's see that. And now we're going to get to the problem where we still need to, you know, append default dictionaries. Oh, this is going to be so inefficient. There's got to be an easy way to do this. There has to be like a beautiful Pythonic way that doesn't stink. Actually, for testing purposes, I should also have there. That should be better because we have a B here and a B here, so we want the weight of these added, so it should be 3. I was just realizing my little test example was not going to tell me anything helpful. All right, so here we are creating a default dictionary. So this is only going to work with one dictionary. Yeah, so this is just going to turn a dictionary into a list. So this is not actually what I want. I want, if foo does dot key else foo equals 1. I'm writing about this a lot in my programs. foo bar plus equals 1. The dictionary's get method takes an optional second parameter that can be used to provide a default value if the requested key is not found. Oh, Abby says, if you go to your co-occurrence function and in the line result, scroll up, 1, 2, wait count and change the result to equals count, then you might be able to save all the trouble. All right, let's give it a try. And actually I'm going to copy and paste this and then comment out this line. God, this is such a mess. Don't do this in coding interviews. Oh, I mean, you wouldn't do guess and testing in coding interviews anyway. All right. All right. Let's see if the dsum will work in this, maybe? No. Int and dict. Co-occurrence. What was there was the co-occurrence when we were, the connector one we were using as well? Can I add them? I'm gonna try it. I'm gonna try adding them. Oh, and let me check this by, so it's still default dict. And the reason I'm rerunning these is because I changed the function. Oh yeah, capital Y is not, that's nothing. It's something in stats, but it's not in the default Python environment. Go into default dict. Add to collections dot default dict. I know I'm all over the place on this one. High performance container data types. Find all ham text read lower. Counter. What if I want to add them? Subtract from iterable or another mapping. Yes. What about the opposite? Elements are counted from iterable or added in from another mapping or counter. Update. Wait, I was using update. Hold up. Is that what you mean by saving all this trouble? Like I didn't actually need to, like update will work for that? So let's try, x.update y. And then print x. No, that's not working. Because here it says that A co-occurs with B, C, and D once each in both of these. Oh, maybe it's because I didn't assign that? What if I print this? Will that work? Let's give that a try. None. Okay, helpful. You need to provide the key value to access the value in a dictionary. Oh, so you're saying that it's 1 because I'm not looking at the value? And that it's 1 because it's... That's just like a holder for an integer? So it does... Also, B should co-occur with B. And that's not showing up here because it happens here. So maybe what we can do is key dot update y key. All right, let's see if this works. Unexpected end of file while parsing. What? Oh, let's just get rid of that. Have I failed to close something? This is a weird error, right? That's not just me. So my idea with what we should be doing here, what if I get rid of all of this? Will I still get that error? I will not. Okay. I don't actually need any of these. Oop. Y key. And then one more. Unexpected end of file parsing. Have I done 1 too few parentheses? I have in fact done 1 too few parentheses. Okay. So let's call this Z. Does update modify in place? That's a good question. And then I'm gonna print Z dot Z key. Non-typed objects are not subscriptable. That's the type of Z. None-type. Oh, that's right. Z is a default dict. Non-typed objects is not subscriptable. Okay. So that didn't work. Let's see. Default dict. Drift is a. It said it would be non-type by default, but I think we do want it to have integers in it. But that didn't change it. So there's that. Maybe I have too many parentheses. Let's see what X looks like at this point. I don't know if this update's in place or not. X, and then look at the key. Okay, so it's still doing that thing that it was doing. So I ran this a couple times, and what it did was it, so we were looking at A, and we are looking at the things that A co-occurs with in X, and that's B. And then, actually, let me get rid of these. So I think it's overwriting. Yeah, so instead of X key, which was B2, if you'll remember, and then updating that with a Y key, which is this number, we have, so this should be B3, C1, D1, overwritten it with this update. Elements are counted from an iterable or added in from another mapping or counter. So I need to turn it, adds counts instead of replacing them. An iterable is expected to be a sequence of elements, not a sequence of key value pairs. Okay, so this is the correct function. We are just handing it the slightly wrong thing. So dot items. Built-in function or method object has no attribute update. Okay, so I think it's this that needs to be turned into items. Maybe. That also didn't work. Built-in function or object is not iterable. Okay, so I need to turn my dictionary into an iterable in order for this update thing to work. Convert from list of elements. Zero, convert to a set. Convert to a regular dictionary. Okay, I don't want to convert it to a set because I want to maintain counts. And I don't want a list of unique elements because I want to also maintain counts. These would both remove information on count, so I don't want to do that. Convert to a list of element count pairs. Convert from a list of element count pairs. N least common elements. Total of all counts. Reset all counts. So I have a default dict, and I want to change it into an iterable. Turn a default dict into an iterable. This is much harder to do while talking to myself, by the way. Well, I'm not talking to myself, I'm talking to y'all. It's the sort of thing where I'd write like something down and then I would get out of language brain and go into math brain. All right, it's the easy way to create a dictionary from iterable and assigning it some default value. I want the other way. Dict from keys method. Excuse me. You want to consider default class. By using it, you may not even need to iterate through the iterable since keys associated with a specific default value will be created whenever you first access them. No, but I do want it to be an iterable. Using default dict. Default dict use for counting. Int default of 0. Counted from an iterable. Make a new point object from a sequencer an iterable. Iterables versus iterators versus generators. And turning the list aside default dict. Let's create a dictionary like object. Let's try this. And meanwhile, I'm going to ask about turning a counter into an iterable. Make a new point object from a sequencer iterable. How to make an iterable iterator in Python. Iterator protocol powers Python's for loops. How to make your own iterators. What is an iterator? An iterable is anything you're going to loop over. Oh, that makes sense because you want to go through and you want to check each of the values and then add it in. No, thank you. Why make an iterator? Iterators allow you to make an iterable that computes an item as it goes, which means that you can make iterables that are lazy in that they don't determine what the next item is until you ask them for it. I don't think that's super important for what we're doing here. I want to get it work and then I'll worry about getting it to look good and, you know. Grouping. Sorry, this is very small. Let me make it big. Nope, that's the wrong direction. Look at different solutions. How to group objects in a dictionary or count them. It is something that at least I have found I do every now and then, and in various forms, I want to start from the simplest good solution and work towards better and faster solutions. So the problem we want to solve, and we have some items we want to group according to some criteria. So we want to append things that don't exist. It's a nice start. Loop over the data, create a key value from each, then we do a check to see if it's already there or not. The key has to be hashed 2 or 3 times. Python dictionaries are internally a kind of hash map that gives them their almost linear lookup time. Name and names, set default. Okay, so this uses the set default. This is a function. Even developers of Python is confusingly named. Do a get lookup, but if not found, assign the second argument. Okay. Still not the best code that we can do. There is a nicer way. It involves using a data structure called a default dict. That's what I'm doing. It lives in the collection module. That's what we're using. If you've not checked out the collections module recently, I recommend you read its docs. There are a number of very useful utilities in it. I'm sure this is very helpful once I figure out how it works. With that aside, default dict lets us create a dictionary-like object that is different only in that if a lookup fails, it uses the argument passed to it during creation, or in our case list, to fill that key in. So now we can just look up the keys that went into it. Okay. Here, a common use case that is not even to use a key, but just to count the number of times something appears. We can do a simplified version. For name's name, dname equals plus equals 1. Common enough. Built-in way to do it using counter. Counter names. Counter comes with some nice little extras, such as being able to add or subtract results. We can do some things like the following. B plus G. If you want to use counter but need the result through some sort of key function first, how do you do it? The solution would be to put a generator inside of it like the following. Counter length of names for names and names. So, useful key functions. Some possible common cases when grouping or counting, you might want to do so based on some item or attribute you are grouping. Your data might be a tuple of first and last names, or dictionaries with first and last name keys, or a class with a first and last name attributes. There are two built-in functions. These are item getter and attribute getter from the operator module. Some examples might help. This has been very helpful. I am learning a lot. I don't know if my sort of like monotone thinky reading is helpful for you guys, but it is definitely making things easier for me. Last name equals item getter 1. Last name function would look like this. Last name item getter last. So we get everything called last. If names are classes with first and last as attributes. Default dict for name and names, key equals last name name, d.key equals append name. Okay, so what we can do, so if we loop through one dictionary and get all the things in the second dictionary that also occur and add them, then we're going to end up missing the things that only occur in the second dictionary. So we can't just loop over one of the dictionaries and look up things in the second dictionary. Oof. All right. Well. So can we turn the dictionaries into counters? Can I do that? Can I turn you into a counter? Will this get me my desired result? Not if I don't close my parentheses, it won't, huh? Name counter is not defined. Was it capital C? It was indeed. Okay. So we can definitely turn the Y key into an index. Can we turn X key into an index? Oh, okay, so here we're just doing X key. So these are the things that co-occur. Okay, no, we talked about that earlier. That makes sense. Let's see. So we can turn you into a counter. Can we turn you? Ooh, not with a capital I. Can we turn you into a counter? All right. Can we add them? Is that gonna work? I don't know why this is in parentheses. Will this throw an error? Okay. 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 It worked. Oh my god. This was unnecessarily complicated. Yeah, that's it. It was counters. So we need to... okay. So... do we still have the problem... Okay, so this only covers the problem. Oh my god. This only covers the problem of us having... I don't need any of that. Goodbye. So this only covers the problem of us having... of when X already exists. So I'm gonna do else x key equals y key. All right, so I think that's gonna work. So this is, let's call this combine nested dicts. Oh, and I need to say def first. Def, combine nested dicts. Okay. And then we need to pass it x and y. And then we shift tab, return x. Okay. And let's see. So combine, I'm pretty sure something is wrong with my syntax. X, y. Okay. I want to unchange this from a counter. Can I make it a dictionary instead? Oh, is it like from keys or something? Yeah. Yeah, that sounds right to me. Okay, it's still called counter, so that's not ideal. No, trying to do it from keys has given me an error. It hasn't given me an error, but you can see that these are all none. So that's not ideal. I'm actually gonna move this up here just while I'm testing. Okay. So yeah, I just want to turn this sum of counters back into a dictionary. Okay. Oh, well, okay, yeah, that'd do it. This class method is not implemented for counter classes. Noted. Returns an iterator over elements, repeating each one as many times as its count. Most common. Counter, new counter from a mapping, new counter from keyword arguments. Okay. So let's see. Counter to dictionary Python. Change data frame from counter to data. Why is it a data frame? Collections.default dict. I want to keep the data frame, but also the is now a counter, and I need a dict. The data type is dict.counter. Counter is already a dict or a subclass of it, but if you really need exactly a dict, then this is a one-liner. Yeah, so just turn it back into a dict, which is what I tried to do, and it did not work. Maybe that'll work. Yeah, okay. Oh, that works. That works. Excellent. And then let's do a third one, Z, that has some new stuff in it. So let's see, E, F, G. Oh, and then also I want to know what happens if we try to do X and Z, because this should return more than a single dictionary. Well, this part has a problem with it, so that's not gonna work. So what it's done is, because in X we have this A, and it looked for an A and it didn't find anyone, and it was like, well, bye. And I'm returning at the right point, so it should have gone through each of the keys in X, of which there are 2, because we've turned it into a dictionary. So it should have returned 2 dictionaries. Now it should have looped through this. And this is on the same level, so I'm not doing it just once because it's in the loop. Oh, okay. I think actually this is where I want to update and just add it to the end. Let's see if that works. Okay. That was the first one. Let's move these into a different cell. I'm just gonna run them all at once. So that was the first one, and that's still what I want. That's giving me the correct output. What about the second one? That's giving me so, oh, I see what it's doing. So I'm going through all of the keys in X, but I'm not going through all of the keys in Y. So this is that problem I mentioned earlier, where if there's a key that doesn't show up in both of them, or doesn't show up in the one that we're looking at, we have a problem. Yes. So let's create a list of all the keys in both dictionaries. So if we get x.keys, it's a function that tells us about keys. Okay, we have 1 key. And if we look at z.keys, we have 3 keys, and if we get the type of z.keys, that is a dict.keys. So I want to append, get a list of all the keys in a dictionary. It doesn't have to be all the keys in multiple dictionaries. It doesn't need to be a list. Python extract all keys from a list of dictionaries. That is what I want. I'm trying to get a list of all the keys in the list of dictionary in order to fill out the field names argument for csv.dictwriter. All keys equals set union star d.keys for d in my list. And you just copy that. So what we're going to do is we're going to generate a list of all of the keys. And I'm just going to do this 2 at a time rather than being able to handle multiple ones at a time. So x.keys and then y.keys. Okay, so what we're doing here is we're getting all the keys in X, all the keys in Y, so we're getting the union of them, and then we're getting only the unique ones. So we have a list of all of this. So for key in all keys, so this should do it. So if the key is in Y, then we iterate, otherwise we add it to X. And this will hit all of the keys, I'm pretty sure. Ay. All right, that's what I wanted. Logu asks, what are you trying to do? So eventually I would like to be able to plot a really nice co-occurrence graph showing what entities can to co-occur in rumors. Mostly, I've been futzing around with dictionaries of dictionaries, and I think I have just got to the point where it's actually going to work. So I do need to make sure that I move. I'm going to go through and I'm going to tidy up my space a little bit. I zoomed in accidentally. I'm going to go through and tidy up my space a little bit. So that when I come back to this next week, because I thought I was going to be done this week. No, I've learned a lot about dictionaries, so that's good. And counters, I learned a lot about counters. And collections, I also learned a lot about that. I had already imported that. Good job. Okay. So this function goes through and it sees what entities co-occur together. And then I'm going to use this function to combine nested dictionaries. And I'm just going to put all my functions all in one block. And if this is a big project that I'm going to keep working on for a while, eventually I will stuff these into a script instead of having them in a notebook, and just add the script as a data source and import it, so I don't have to do this all the time. I'm going to get rid of this. That was a testing cell. This was a testing cell. This is also a testing cell. And actually, I'm going to keep that, and I'm going to just, for my own edification, test co-occurrence, test combining dicts. All right, and then I'll have, yeah, excellent. So this is the co-occurrence dictionary for this, and then this is the dictionary that's a co-occurrence that combines those two. Just so when I load back in and I check things, I can make sure nothing's changed. It's gonna break my flow. I am ridiculously happy that we've gotten this working. Ridiculously. All right, we can get rid of this. We didn't end up using this function, so let's go to that. All right. Oh, okay. So here, instead of doing what we're doing here, I'm going to do this co-occur edges equals, and so that's the second dictionary that we're using, and then we're going to use our co-occurred edges as the first dictionary. And let me quickly check the syntax of this thing I just wrote. I wrote this just now, and I still don't remember what it's friggin' called or how to use it. Ugh, I'm a professional. Co-occur edges. All right, I think this is going to fix our problem that we spent last week figuring out existed. Oh, I'm nervous. And this one's going to take a while to run, but I'm actually just going to have it run with us together and have me double check it so I know where I am when we come back together in the future. And I think I can collapse this. There's some place you can click. There we go. That will collapse code output cells. Oh, but I clicked on it too many times. There we go. It's in the cell. That's very simple. And just once. You don't have to double click it. And then, now that I actually have the data structure I thought I had to begin with, I can actually get to work on graphing things. Oh no, it didn't work. Error. US. Okay. Oh. I figured out the problem. So the problem is that there is no X with this key. So it's true that it's in Y, and it's true that it's in all keys, and it's not true that it's in X. So let's go fix our function. If key in Y and if key in X. Oh, okay, double and isn't a thing. No, that doesn't work. Oh, it doesn't work. Unsupported operand types for collection.default icon string. Well, what is an error? Never had one before, Jake Daniel says. Then you haven't been programming. All right. If control conditions. Oh, it's supposed to be in okay, first of all, you have to write the word and out, so I was wrong there. No, I shouldn't be doing this. So what I'm... Okay, so there's two... I think I need to do an else if... Oh, that's not how that is. Okay, so the problem is... Sorry, I'm working this out. So the problem is that this will only proc if it occurs in Y and X. And this will always proc if it doesn't occur in Y and X. But it may not occur in Y. So this should only happen if because we're returning X, right? So if it's in X, we don't need to do anything if key in Y. So this will happen if it's in Y and not in X. Okay, and I want to say that maybe just for clarity, you know, explicit is better than implicit. The whole Zen DAO, the DAO of Python, the Zen of Python. Ryan says, can you combine before turning into dicks? I had a quick go here. May not be so efficient for a large data set. Paste bin. Let's see. If this is like ASCII art of a duck, I'm gonna make a sound. Make a face. Paste bin. Is last name? That typing can be reached. Okay. I know you can't paste links, which is frustrating. And no results. Oh, is it haste bin? Sharing code is a good thing. All right, and okay. Yeah, I'm gonna copy and paste and save this for later. Oh, did I accidentally zoom in? Now it's thinking. This might also work from Ryan Carson. So we'll look at that later. Oh, right, so I'm looking for, so if the key is Y and key not in Python, not in. It's literally just not in. All right, I think this will help us get around those. It did not. Int object is not iterable. Key in Y and key in X. Take key X. Otherwise, update Y key. Not in X. Okay. So let's make sure that it's not secretly in co-occurrence. It is not. This was working. What did I do? Okay. So the problem is if key in Y and key in X, X key int object is not iterable. Maybe it's this all keys thing I've done. Let's see if that works. Print all keys. Nope, Python 3. Just for a sec. TBAC none. So now it's just returning X. So it should just be returning the AB one, but it's not. What? Well, I've ruined it. So that's good. Maybe it's my if. Maybe somehow I messed up the if statement. Well, it's 5:20. I've spent a lot of time staring. What I'm going to do real quick is just nope. Okay. So I'm going to place this version here. This version works. Oh, nope, this version doesn't work either. So it's for key in X, for key in Y. Works, but misses keys only in Y. Wait, what? For key in Y. This is the least efficient way to do this. If key not in X. My friends, I think I've solved it. I mean, famous last words. Alright. Make sure I got those in. Hot dog, it works. Where's E? Where is E? E should be in here. Why is there a C? Maybe it doesn't work. Oh, maybe it's because I've overwritten things. To do. Test this. It may not work. Alright, so I'm going to commit this. You should always commit your work when you're done, so you have a version to go back to. And the notebook is public, so if you want to look at it and see my shame, feel free. Thank you for joining me. This was rough going. This was a frustrating one. But it was better to be doing this with you guys. Oh, you like the Umbra loading bar? Isn't that nice? So you know where you are. We had a lot of requests for this in the forum, and I am so proud of the engineering team for doing such a good job. So that is a delightful thing. And I will see you guys next week. But I think the week after that I'm going to be at JupyterCon. So I will see you if you are at JupyterCon, but I probably won't see you on the YouTubes. And I will see you then. Thanks very much for joining me. I hope you had fun. I had funstration. It was about half and half fun and frustration. And hopefully next time it will be less that and more happiness. And Ryan, I will take a look at that code that you pasted. All right, I'll see you guys next week. Bye-bye.